Hi everybody, it's the Shadow Shop, and it is near the end of March, and it looks like it's going to snow. So much for that Groundhog. Punxsutawney Phil got it wrong. 6 more weeks of winter is what he should have predicted. Instead, he predicted an early spring. I woke up this morning and it was 25 degrees out on my way into work. It's just, at the end of March, you're just expecting some warmer temperatures, some sunny days, some good days to get out on the motorcycle. Instead, I had to go out in my car today because it didn't have the right gear ready to get out on the motorcycle. Punxsutawney Phil, for those of you who don't know, is that Groundhog, but I'm sure everybody knows about it. Back in 1998, I ended up going up to Punxsutawney Phil with a couple of my college friends, and we hung out at Gobbler's Knob and waited till the morning when the old guys in tuxedos and top hats pulled Punxsutawney Phil out of his hole, and at that point he predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Doesn't always get it right, but we got Punxsutawney Phil. It's definitely an experience. Not really like that Groundhog Day movie with Bill Murray, although that was a really good movie. I'd recommend that to anybody. But the celebration actually takes place outside of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'd say maybe northeast of Pittsburgh. And, you know, it's an all-night party event, followed by Groundhog in the morning. No alcohol is allowed, but doesn't mean that it doesn't get in. But it was a pretty good experience, something that you would do at least once in your life. So anyway, I'm driving here in a small town called Annville, Pennsylvania, probably half hour or so directly east of Harrisburg. But this is a typical small town Pennsylvania. There's a college right next door here in town, and it's these old homes with a main street, kind of a colonial look or a brick look. But I've only ever crossed through here coming to and from things, but I ended up going through this town again today. Right now it's 50 degrees, but man, it's got that gray winter look. Back to the weather. Can't stop talking about it because it's supposed to rain. Some places are supposed to get snow tonight, and this weekend's looking like it might be around 50 degrees or so. So it should be good. Get out in the moto, take some photos of a bike race, try to get some film of that too. But we'll see how it goes. The thing about driving around in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania is that you can get out on these back roads here and you can drive through all of these farms, farmland, farm fields, and you could go forever on these back roads and get no farther than 10 miles from your house. You could easily get lost, which a lot of people do. I remember when I'm out here riding on my bike, people have seen me taking pictures or pulled over and asked me for directions, and I don't always know which way to send them. I just say, go out to the end of this road and take a right, and I think that's where you need to go. I don't ever know the names of the roads that I'm riding on. I just know that this is the road that I need to go that will take me to where I need to go. Just that thing about being local and growing up locally, I don't know the names of the roads. I just go, which a lot of people know all the names of the roads, but I don't, and that's my downfall, I guess. But I think it pisses people off sometimes when they see me out here and they think I can give them directions, and I'm sorry, I can't. Then they get frustrated and pissed off sometimes because I just don't know where to send them. I feel like I should be able to tell them where to go, but I don't. Because to me, all these roads after a while look the same. Farm, 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 another field, another farm, another field. Kind of repeats itself. Of course, the other thing that you have going on when you're out here in the summertime, well, even in the springtime right now, as I'm driving past the field and I notice it, is a lot of manure spreading going on. So that often adds to a nice smell to your ride for the day. Smell these fields. And if you're fortunate, then you end up behind a manure spreading truck and, well, you either pass them or you slow down and go a different direction because you don't want to be behind one of them too long. Not very pleasant at all. But right now what you got going on is your winter planting, your winter wheat starting to come up, and pretty soon we'll be seeing farmers out here plowing their fields and doing the spring planting. Some years they would have already started because the weather's been warm enough, but not this year. In a couple days, Saturday is opening day of trout season, trout fishing. And it's usually something that I usually end up doing, but this year I'm not going to be able to get out for a while. But it was one of those things, standing out alongside the trout stream, dipping your line in, first light, catching the stock trout, catching your limit, taking them home, cleaning them, and enjoying a nice dinner of fresh trout. Nothing beats that. But I hope to get out this year and do some fishing. We'll see how that works out. Just not this weekend. But it's a big thing. On Saturday, when I go out, I'll probably pass some trout streams and see people fishing all over the place. I think it's getting pretty expensive to get a trout license and a fishing license. So you have to get a fishing license and you have to get a trout stamp in addition to your fishing license. But I don't know what it costs this year. For a while I think it cost like $25, but I think it's more than that now to be able to get your license and your trout stamp. My brother called me up yesterday and said he was going to go out probably, and wished him luck and see how that goes. But it's one of those things. Spring brings trout fishing. It's a good thing to do. Regular spinning rod, just get your spinning rod and set it up nice. I usually like to fish with a light tackle, little short 4-foot rod with probably a 2 or 3 test line on it. Put a little spinner on the end of it, little Panther Martin, little silver Panther Martin with black feathers on it. Usually that works out pretty well for the trout. If I get more adventurous, then I'll go buy some minis and set them up and hook them up, and then the trout just go wild about it. Thing is though, most of these trout are stock, so all you really need to do is get some canned corn and put some corn on the end of your hook, and they'll devour that. They just eat it. They just take it up. Can't get enough of that at all. Oh, so here comes a tractor with manure in the back of it. Yes. Those are the ones that you don't necessarily want to be behind. Farmers going out and spreading that in the field. Most of the farming that we do around here is for animal feed. Corn, wheat, barley, alfalfa, and that goes out. And we don't do a lot of farming for people food, but it's all for animals. Anyway, I like to show more of that in the future, so I will. And for those of you who live out in the desert or in a city or something, it's something different to take a look at, something different to experience.